y'all, welcome to my channel, Once Upon a Wonder. My name is Lauren, and whether you are new here or returning, thank you so much for watching. I am so happy you're here. Excuse my appearance if I seem a little disheveled. It is actually very hot outside. We're under a heat advisory for like the next 3 days, and we do not have central air. So there are fans running, so that's why I'm kind of using my microphone. Maybe I can block out some of the fan noise. The window AC units we got are running. My dog is over here just literally hating his life. He's laying on his cooling mat between two fans right now. But life must go on. So we are leaving very soon to fly overseas for our cruise to Iceland. Iceland, Northern Ireland, and Scotland to be exact, but mainly Iceland. And I just wanted to share with you all, this is our second time cruising overseas, so I just wanted to share kind of what we pack. So some packing must-haves, some plane must-haves for us, and some ship must-haves. So packing, plane, and ship. I love watching these videos with other people. They give me so many ideas, so I just wanted to share with you all real quick what we take. And hopefully this helps you out, maybe gives you some ideas of your own. So let's just start with packing. Packing is the hardest part probably. And where we are going, it's always a little bit harder to pack because it's a cooler weather cruise. It's not like the Caribbean where we can throw in swimsuits, shorts, and t-shirts and call it a day. Like you kind of have to have a full wide range. Layers are key for this. We've been lucky enough to cruise to Alaska twice, and this is kind of how I'm packing. So lots of layers, but also a lot of waterproof and rain gear because Iceland gets a lot of rain, and we are just being told that it could be pouring down rain and windy every single day, so can't wait. But we're so excited, I promise. Anyway, so for packing, I'm not showing like clothes or anything like that. Maybe I'll do that in a separate video. I don't know. We'll see if we have time. But this is just kind of what we use to pack. So first off, these are vacuum bags, and you do not need an actual vacuum for these, so this is why we like them. I don't want to have to rely on a vacuum. So they're like giant Ziplocs, and you fill them up kind of to this line here. This is great for like heavier stuff, like sweatshirts, jeans, pants, that kind of thing. Fill it up, and then these are the ones that you zip tight and then roll to get all the air out. They work really well. We have multiple sizes in these. These big ones, like I said, good for bigger clothes, or like my husband's clothes. Just take up less room in your suitcase. You can fit a pretty good amount in here. We also usually take a couple of these just in case if there's dirty clothes or wet clothes. Usually in the Caribbean, like bathing suits, that kind of thing. If we have to go home, at least they're a little bit more protected in giant vacuum bag Ziplocs. So these are awesome. Always recommend these. And then other for packing, it took me a while to jump on this like trend, I don't know why, of packing cubes. I don't know why I didn't believe in them, but I do now. So I have a set of packing cubes of different sizes. They're all just kind of in here. And I am a convert. I love them. So I have a bigger one here, and then like some smaller ones, and then there's like even a smaller one in here. And I love these. I'm shocked by how much you can fit. These are fantastic for your like t-shirts, shorts. Like for this trip especially, I'm taking a lot of leggings. Leggings, long sleeve shirts, like my layering stuff. This is great. And the big one actually can hold sweatshirts and jackets and things like that. You just roll them up, put them in. They really do hold a lot, especially once you zip them closed. You can even do it by outfit or have all your pants in one, t-shirts in another, nicer shirts in another if you want to be way more organized than I am. But these are really, really nice. So I do highly recommend these as well. These are just from Amazon. It's just the like vinyl, so they're easy clean. It does have like the mesh in the front, and like this is see-through, this little like PVC, whatever. So you can see what's in there before you like start digging through. So these are a really nice set. I think I got those on like Prime Days maybe last year. And then it also came with like this zip kind of shoe bag, which normally I wouldn't really care about. But like I said, wind and rain are very expected for this trip. Of course, now that I'm packing for, we're not gonna have any, but that's what happens. So this is a great shoe bag because I am taking like waterproof shoes like to be outside in. So that's where I can keep these if for some reason I need them, or they get muddy, or something doesn't dry, things like that. They can kind of be in their own separate bag. Okay, so along with bags, I have a set of these mesh bags. I usually throw like socks, underwear, sports bras, you know, things like that into these. These are also washable, so if you want to do laundry on the ship, some people do. This is a 12-day cruise, so there is a chance we might. So just some different sizes of these mesh bags. I actually think these are from Temu, and they've held up pretty well. Just a nice little zipper. These are very, very handy to have. So these are nice. And also in our suitcases, these are charcoal bags, like activated charcoal bags, just for like odor and things like that, mustiness. So I usually just throw like one of these in each of our, you know, checked bags. Again, we might have kind of more damp clothes this time, so these are always really nice. You can also put these in shoes, like sneakers, boots, things like that. So I always pack probably one or two of these. Those. All right, so this little guy is really, really handy. I think I found it maybe on another YouTube channel, I think like cruise vloggers, but it is from Amazon, and it is a jewelry holder. And if you open it up, I think I'm upside down, I am. This holds just about any kind of jewelry you want. So you do have like a little Ziploc or plastic zip up there. Then behind it, these are like little holders for necklaces. So they unsnap, and then you can hang the chain on there, and they just kind of hang down into these pockets so they don't get super, super tangled up. So you can put necklaces here. These, and you can kind of fit them behind like this little, you know, rubber part there, so they're super secure. Then on the other side, I love this. This little thing up top is for rings. So it unsnaps, and you just slide your rings on it. It's like velvety and soft, so they're not gonna get hurt. Slide your rings on and re-snap. And then the thing below it is for earrings. So you can see kind of like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing a good job of holding this. This is for earrings. If you can see, possibly there are like holes in the leather, so you can pop pairs of earrings through those. And again, you can snap it for security. And then there's also just more pouches down here, zipper pouches, more zipper pouches on this side. Just really, really handy. So it really holds a lot. I love the separate compartments. It's super, super nice. And it was a pretty reasonable price. I think it was under $20. So I use this every time we travel, and it's really come in handy. So this is great. And it doesn't take up a lot of room. It lays flat. I do have like a box, and it's too bulky. So that works out great. And so this little guy, I know this probably won't be for everybody, but this is a plastic soap case. I actually use shampoo and conditioner bars. So to travel with them, you need a case. But this is like a shampoo bar like this, and it holds two right inside. So shampoo and conditioner. Take it out for a second. And then it also has a pop out like kind of soap dish. So it's not sitting in its own water, if that makes sense. So if you can put this in the shower, if it fills up with water, the soap can like fit on top of it, so it doesn't get like all kind of wet and start disintegrating like soap does. There's that, and then it has like a rubber seal to hold it all together. So this is a really nice little contraption here. Like I said, maybe not for everybody, but I really, really love it because like I said, use shampoo and conditioner bars, and I love them. I do highly recommend them. They're awesome for traveling especially, but I've used them just for years in general. So this is a handy little guy for me. And then finally for packing, I recommend a good wallet. This is a specific travel wallet. It's how it's built. If you do open it up, it's got a lot of compartments inside. Again, you have a zipper compartment. Oh, look. This is my last cruise card, my room key. Shows you the last time I used it, but it has, like a typical wallet in there. It has zipper. It has little flaps. You can put an ID right here. Credit card holders right here. Another pocket, and then another pocket in there. And this hole in another pocket, actually, in there, depending how much you want to put in here. It's great as I actually hold passports in here, credit cards, IDs, cash, all the above. It's a really great wallet, and I believe it is an RFID wallet too, so it's a little bit on the safer side. It has a ton of colors it comes in, and it is like a nice leather feel to it. So I do always travel with this. All right, so I think that takes care of packing. Like I said, that's just stuff we like to use, making travel a little bit easier. That works for us. So on the plane, we have a few specific things. Obviously, first thing is gum. I prefer cinnamon. We go through a lot of gum on pretty much any plane we're on, so we always get a big package to come with us. All right, so next up, we have this little contraption here. So this is actually pretty awesome. This is great if you are on, especially a domestic flight. I guess really it would probably just be a domestic flight that on a plane that does not have TVs. So like Southwest, and even the more budget airlines. Actually, we're flying like a kind of a quick domestic before we fly internationally. So it'll be a smaller plane because it's not that far of a flight, so it won't have TVs either. But let me tell you what it is before as I keep rambling. So it opens up like this. You can kind of maneuver it however you like. All right, so this part expands to hold your phone, to fit around your phone. So I'm just gonna do mine on the end there because mine has like a ring on the back. So like I said, it can hold your phone. It clips right around your phone. You can obviously put it in the middle. But this part fits on the seat in front of you, like especially on the tray table. When the tray table is upright, it'll clip right under the tray table. So basically, you can have it in front of you and you can watch your phone. And you don't have to hold it or put it down on the tray table or try to balance it, to where it fits it where you can see it. You're not like this. It's awesome. It can fit right on the table in front of you. I've used this so many times, like on Southwest flights, because there is no TV, obviously. And you can, maneuver it back, forward, whatever you want to do. So this is a super handy little gadget. Like I said, probably more appropriate for domestic flights. Because international, you're probably going to have a TV. I can't think of an airline that doesn't. Maybe some budget ones. I don't know. Doesn't matter. And then it folds just right back up. And you can put it in your little, your carry-on bag. So this is a really handy little tool. I'm glad I found out about this. It's come in handy a few times, especially when I'm with my husband, because he is like not easily amused on planes. He doesn't like read or anything like that. So sometimes this has saved us, I gotta say. Okay, and then the last thing, this is for an international flight for me. I am not a plane sleeper. I do not do well napping or sleeping on planes. I just don't. Longer flights, it's usually not great. However, this flight, we are flying overnight and getting to London in the morning. So I'm really gonna try to at least maybe get some naps in. So I was looking for a really good neck pillow. So this one comes in a nice little bag here. And I'll take it out. And it pops right out like this and kind of unravels. And it is a nice memory foam. I need something a little bit firmer. Like I can't just use the little U-shaped pillow. It's not gonna work. Also, I prefer an aisle seat, so there's nothing for me to like lean up against. Flying with my husband, he likes a window and I like an aisle, so normally we're battling. Half the time he's in the window and I'm in the middle seat, and it's whatever because the flight's not that long. But either way, I don't have anything really to lean against. So I really wanted to try to find a good neck pillow. So this one was from Amazon, and like I said, it's a little bit thicker, really cushy memory foam, but it's a little bit firmer. And there is like Velcro on the inside. So obviously you know how neck pillows work, but it does have Velcro right here to hook to stay in place. So it's very fancy looking, like you're gonna look awesome wearing it, but you know what? You're never gonna see these people on a plane again. So yeah, so I'm hoping maybe if it holds up my head, I can get a little bit of sleep on this plane. We're gonna find out. If not, it is what it is, but I have to try. Like I said, we're flying overnight, we're getting it early in the morning, and then we kind of have a travel day on trains and stuff like that to get to the port. So really gonna try just to at least get a few decent naps in. So that's the goal for this. So this one really worked for me. I went through a few and they just didn't seem to do much, but this one hopefully will do the trick. So neck pillow, and then you just kind of roll it back up, squish it, roll it back up, and it goes back into the little pouch, which is kind of nice. Okay, so these next couple things are probably good for ship and plane, to be honest. First off is a water bottle, a reusable water bottle. I always have one on planes, and I always have one on a ship. Hydration is so important. I've really been aware of it more recently and stuff. So I always have one with me, and I always have it full. And to go along with that, I usually have electrolytes of some kind. This is Drip Drop. We've used these before. These are the zero sugar ones. Also trying to be more aware of zero sugar. This is a bag of 32. They come in different, like strawberry lemonade, cherry, orange, different good flavors for electrolytes. Hydration is key, planes and on the ship. We have learned this. I usually have 1 or 2 a day. So most of these will go in my check bag, but we'll have a couple in my carry-on backpack, just maybe have one during the plane, because it is so important to be hydrated, and it is so easy to get dehydrated when you're traveling. So this is a winning combo right here. We need both. All right, and then also on the ship and plane, these are super attractive compression socks. Super attractive. I think I have a set of 3 of these. These are hot, but they work. So I have learned, especially when cruising, especially in the Caribbean, as much as I try to be hydrated, you are just ingesting more like salt in the food. You're drinking more. A lot of people are, not everybody, obviously. You might be exercising less, being less active, things like that. So I notice my ankles do swell, usually halfway through the cruise or whatever, I start noticing it. So I do sleep in these on the ship, and which is weird for me because I hate sleeping in socks. But I do it on the cruise because they do work, they do help. I'll probably wear these on the plane as well, just to kind of get in front of the whole retaining water, bloating thing, again with the hydration. We'll see, but I absolutely will have a few pairs of these on the ship, and they do tend to work pretty well. They've become a staple for me to pack. So not super fun, not super glamorous, but it is what it is. You start recognizing things that you need or things that happen, and you just prepare accordingly. So compression socks. All right, and then obviously we need a little bit of hand sanitizer on the ship and when traveling. Can't be too careful. This is actually just a little Disney Princess Bath and Body Works hand sanitizer. This is Tiana. I do have, I think, one in all the princesses. I've used a few, but I will be taking definitely 1 or 2 of these. So can't be too careful with those. And kind of along the lines of like hydration, nutrition, that kind of thing. These are just the Bloom Superfood. They are for digestion, bloating, energy. I normally have a scoop of this in like 8 ounces of water in the morning after a workout before I go to work. And these are just individual packets. So I'm going to be taking these to try to stay a tiny bit healthy. It's not like we go all out and completely become like these monsters that just eat and drink all the time on cruises, but this is the longest we are going to be cruising. It's 12 days. So I'm just trying to keep a little bit of a routine happening. So I'm going to take these as well. All right. Okay, so this is cruise ship specific, kind of. So first up, we have, I guess these could have been packing too, but these are, I don't know how well they're going to really show up on camera. These are luggage tag holders. If you've cruised before, so these go on your suitcase. If you've cruised before, you probably know that you have luggage tags because you can drop your check bags off at the port. The porters will take it, they take them on the ship, and they will have it delivered to your stateroom. So obviously they need to know where your bag goes. So you get luggage tags from the cruise ship. Generally they just email them to you and you print them off and like staple them on. So you literally just staple a piece of paper onto your bag and hope it makes it. So these, you can actually put the piece of paper in the plastic and have this really nice wire like keychain to hold it onto your bag, and hopefully it'll get there safely. So I have just a pack of two because we're only going to each have one check bag each. But these are for my husband and I. These are just nice, cheap, little, easy luggage tags holders. They're probably from Temu or Amazon. You can find them anywhere. Just type in cruise ship luggage holders and those will pop right up. All right, and then speaking of plastic things, this is just a cell phone waterproof case. You slide your cell phone in there and you can still use it. I think I'm going to take this because 1, rain, 2, I believe we are going to be visiting one of the geothermal lagoons, like spas in Iceland. So if I want to take my phone out to maybe take pictures or things like that, I want to make sure it's safe. So I just want to bring this waterproof pouch for my phone. There's that. And some other random things. We usually get inside cabins when we sleep. Or when we cruise. We budget friendly for first of all. Second of all, we realized for this cruise we are going in the summer in Iceland, and it's really not going to get dark. And if it does, it'll be for a very few hours when we're there. I cannot wait to see it. I think it'll be really, really cool just to experience that. So we're pretty thrilled that we got an inside cabin in this case. However, I cannot sleep in silence. There has to be white noise or a fan or music or something. So I travel with this portable little fan. It does have a little stand on it. It is USB, so you can plug it right in. And it does have multiple speeds on the back. This little thing is actually pretty powerful and puts a nice little breeze, which is also a bonus because sometimes I can sleep warm, like it gets kind of warm in the rooms. So I always travel with a little fan, even with hotels and stuff like that. I just don't like silence. I can't sleep that way. So this is a little lifesaver here. Okay, so 2 more things. So this, I'm not taking it out of the bag because I want to travel with it like this. It is a pop-up laundry hamper, just one of those cheap, ones that pop up, literally. You probably can't tell, it does say it on the receipt or the barcode here. But this is for obviously dirty clothes. This is our longest cruise, like I've mentioned. It is 12 days, so we might have just some dirty clothes. And also, like I said, inside cabin, so not a ton of space. So just for organization and stuff's sake, this is where we can put just all of our dirty laundry. Hopefully we will do laundry on the ship. I believe with my loyalty status or whatever, I do get some free laundry, so we'll probably do that maybe halfway through, but at least we have somewhere to put it all, instead of just throwing it all over the cabin, and just try to keep some organization for my own sanity. So there's this. And then last but not least, we have just an extension cord with a bunch of extra plugs. So we have obviously the 3 regular ones and then some USB and USB. These are a must for cruising, especially because we will be going on a little bit older and smaller ship. So there are very few outlets in the room, like from what I remember, maybe 1 or 2. So we do have phones, iPhone or iPads. We each have I have my camera. My husband has his big photography camera, things like that. Apple Watch, whatever. So you absolutely need some extra plugs for some help. For cruising, make sure it does not have a surge protector, they will confiscate it. I'm sure it's for safety reasons, but you can obviously just go on Amazon, cruise ship, extension cords, things like that. It will pop up a million of these. But this one was a really nice balance of just the regular and the extra ones. So this is a must. And I actually really liked this the outlet, because it's flat for some reason. Sometimes they have like giant ones. But if you have an outlet like behind something and you're trying to like fit it in, again, just a little perk, little space saver with that. So this. Okay, I think that is all. I think that is all I have to share with y'all, at least. This is just stuff we like to take. I just wanted to share it in case it helps anyone else, especially if you're cruising for the first time. You just might not be sure what to take with you, and everyone will give you ideas and different answers. So you kind of just slowly figure out what works for you and what you use and don't use, things like that. Also, one more thing, which is actually on the way from Amazon, are magnetic hooks. I can maybe put a picture of the ones we got up here. They're just, I think, a set of 4 metal hooks, because usually cruise ships, either the walls or the ceiling are metal, so you can hang hooks, and they're just really handy to put hats or bags or towels or anything you want to hang up and just get out of the way. It's just a really nice little random thing to have. So magnetic hooks is another one I would show you, but they're still being shipped. Okay, so that really is it. So give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Please comment below if you use any of these things when you're cruising. Do you have any suggestions that you use when you travel? I'd love to hear it. I just find it really cool and interesting. Also, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I would love to have you. But that is all I got for y'all today. Gotta go get more packing done. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, y'all.